Today we're going to take a look at the ANL fuse holder and 300 amp fuse for Bulldog Winch off-road winches. This is going to work for 4 to 0 gauge wire. So here's our holder that's going to allow us to have that permanent mount next to the battery on our Jeep or our truck, so we can make sure to not overload the motor on our winch. It's going to come with that 300 amp fuse. This is going to be an ANL type fuse, which just means that it's going to handle a higher amperage when compared to other types of fuses. It does have that little window in the center there, so you can tell if the connector blade has become separated, so that allows you a quick and easy indicator to know if you need to change out that fuse. The fuse, of course, is going to blow whenever it detects an excessive current pull from the winch motor, and that's going to prevent our off-road winch from overheating, since it's going to cut the power between the vehicle's battery and that motor to prevent any damage to either. The way this is going to mount up, you just unthread one end, and we'll need to loosen up the set screw there. This does require a 5mm hex key. It is not included with this kit, so you will have to pick up one on your own. Then you'll just attach one end of the fuse. You want to make sure that it goes underneath that washer. Tighten the set screw back down. And then we'll unthread the other side of our fuse holder and attach the fuse to the other metal end. You'll also want to run your wires into this metal portion. It's going to go on the other side, which I'll show you in a second. Just want to make sure you push that through, get the fuse underneath the washer again. So that it makes good contact and holds down securely. That washer is just going to make sure it spans across the whole width. You don't have to tighten this down super tight. You just want to make sure that it's snug enough to where it's not really going to move around too much, so it won't get jarred as you're going off-road. But again, the wiring is going to attach to the circular side there. The way you get that attached is by loosening up the set screw. Again, using that 5mm hex key. And as you can see, as we loosen that screw, it opens up a little space where that wire can thread in. This does work for 4 to 0 gauge wire. Once you have the wire in place, you'll just tighten that down, and that's going to pinch the wire in there so it's going to stay secure. And then you can reattach the caps on either side. You'll want to make sure that you have the wire running through those caps before you attach it to make it a little easier to get everything back into place. So that's what it should look like once you have everything installed, minus the wires, of course. Now, again, the nice thing about this being clear is that we can see through to that little window, so we can easily tell if that fuse has blown and we need to change it out. Now, the measurements for this fuse holder, overall it's going to measure about 5.5 inches long by about 1.5 inches in diameter. The mounting flanges are going to be about 2 inches apart, center on center, from those mounting holes. The flange itself is going to be about 2.5 inches, and in either direction it's going to be about 2 inches apart from those mounting holes. Those do need to be mounted up with an 1/8 of an inch screw, which is not provided with this kit, so you will need to provide that as well on your own. So that's going to do it for our look at the ANL fuse holder and 300 amp fuse for Bulldog Winch off-road winches.